Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to blend a fade into the top, into longer hair on the top, graduating right down into a bold fade. So here is my customer's hair. He has got a crown, single crown here, as you can see, and what I've done in the previous cut is I have kept this quite long here and blended it down shorter into the neck, and today I will be taking this down into a low fade blend and showing you how to deal with the crown area. So I'm going to start by putting the grade 2 on my clippers, and I'm going to go up to about here with the 2. And I'm going to leave this part of the hair here to blend last. I'm going to start and go down where the occipital bone is, down here like this. So now I'm going to change my 2 to a 1. I'm going to open the blade right out, and this is a 1.5. And I'm just literally going to take it up to about here. I'm not going to go all the way up to what I've just done. I'm just going to go down like this. I'm just going to flick it out a bit. So at the beginning of the haircut, I confirmed with my model what he wanted done, and he simply wanted me to fade the bottom into the top. Make sure your customer is in the correct position so that your posture is the correct posture and your customer's posture is the correct posture. So I'm happy with my 1.5 now. So now I'm going to close my clippers right down. Now this is a grade 1. And I'm going to go up a little bit again. You can pull the skin taut like this so that you don't hurt your customer. So now I'm going to go down to the clipper blade like this, and I'm just simply going to tidy up this part here using clipper over comb. Just take a little bit of hair off at a time. You can either go up like this, be really careful doing that, going up, or you can just go simply straight across like this. So now I'm going to open the blade all the way, so we're on a half. I'm simply just going to go over this part again. Be careful here. I go lightly and I kind of flick it out. You don't want to be ruining all this blending you've just done here. You may need to switch your blades around like this, going in different directions, going against the hair grain. Now all I'm going to do is simply take my one, close the blade, so I'm doing a one now, just to go over this part of the blending again. Again, I'm doing it very lightly. So now I'm going to close the clipper grade down to a 0, and I'm just going to follow what I've done here. Doing it very lightly next to my blend. So now I'm just going to take my foil shaver and I'm just going to basically shave these parts that I've just done with the knot. I'm going to shave those parts down with the foil trimmer. Oops. So here's my foil trimmer. So when I get up to where my blend is, because I don't want to ruin what I've done, I'm just basically going to flick it lightly as I get up to that, but I'm going to put some pressure on the lower bits, okay? Brush any excess hair out the way so you can see what you're doing. I like to use the foil trimmers because I feel they are safer than using the cutthroat. So I'm just going to get rid of any excess hair around here. Okay, so he's just got a little bit of hair on his neck that I'm just going to remove. I'm just going to take my mini trimmers and I just want to make this blend look a bit more neater by going through and taking any bits I've missed. Make sure your customer's head is in the right position for you to work comfortably. The trick with the fade is to keep going over it until you are completely happy that you have blended all the hair perfectly. And take your time with it. Taking your time with the fade is more important than getting the customer out quickly. And the customer will be more satisfied if you take your time. So now I'm going to repeat on the other side what I have just done on this side. Making sure your customer is free of hair clippings. This will reduce the chances of hair splinters and will make your customer feel more comfortable. And of course, if you've got hair on the floor, it is a tripping hazard. Do sweep that up before you start. So again, I'm going to start with the grade 2. And I'm going up to about here, keeping the blend low. So move that over there, is that okay? So. Okay, so I'm going down to my number 1. I'm going to open the blade all the way. So I'm going to continue. And then I'm going to go down to a 1. I'm going to do flip over comb to blend this part in to what I've just done. So now I'm going to go down to a half, so I'm going to open my clipper blade all the way, and I'm going to carry on as down here. Going lightly now, so I don't ruin the blending that I've already done. And then I'm going to go right down to a 0, close the blade right down. Then I'm going to use my foil trimmers again to go around and take the bottom off. small trimmers, I do have a mini trimmer at the top here to help me with the difficult areas, which I use around the ears. So now I'm just going to take my mini trimmers and I'm just going to make sure that I get all the misfits in the blend. So now I'm just going to go around with a closed blade and just make sure that my hair is blended into the very short parts. Once you're happy with your fade, you can move on to your scissor cut on the top. So for my scissor cut, my son just wants me to give him a little trim. He doesn't want too much off. So just wet the hair down. So this is the finished fade on the sides and back. See, here's the crown area on the top, and when you're going to cut the crown area, if you are doing a high blend, we'll try and keep some of that length there and then blend underneath the crown area. But this is a low blend, so I've taken it quite low here. Let's give you an idea. And now I'm going to move on to the top, and I'm going to cut into it on the top. So now I'm just going to trim the top area. I'm happy with my sides. All I'm going to do, he likes it quite long on the top and just wants a little trim. So I'm just going to go through, I'm just going to chip in and take a little bit off. This is point cutting. Make sure when you're doing your cut and you've got your hair here, make sure that your arm is nice and straight. If you slack, you're going to end up with an uneven cut. Take small sections at a time and follow your guide. I'm going to do a square layer here, so I'm just going to bring the hair directly up. If no hair needs cutting, I'm going to leave it. Taking a little bit of time here. Check this, you'd simply go the opposite way, so push the hair forwards, take a small section like this, and you pull it directly up. Now I can show you if I twist it round, it's even. You do the same at the front here, if I twist it round just so you guys can see, it's even. I'm just lifting it directly up to the ceiling, and any missed bits I will simply trim off. So now I'm going to move on to these side sections. And keeping in the square layer, he likes a long fringe, so I'm simply going to leave the fringe out at this point. So I'm just basically going to take a section and I'm going to bring it out like this and simply trim. here, I'm simply going to bring the hair towards me, carrying on with the box shape. And then repeat on this side. I'm just bringing it straight out. Simply just cross-check going the opposite way. I'm just going to use a little bit of scissor over comb just to check that the blend is nice and even. Maybe taking a little tiny bit of hair off. And I always think taking less is more. Take a little bit at a time, and that ensures that you don't make any mistakes. So I'm happy with the sides now. So he wears it over to the side like this. So I'm just going to now tidy the fringe up for him. But I'm not going to take too much off because he does like a nice long fringe. So all I'm simply going to do is bring it down like this, and I'm simply just going to cut the ends off, chipping into it a little bit like this. Now this really is quite long compared to the rest of the hair, and I like my haircuts to balance out nicely. So when he brushes it back like this, turn your head this way, I don't like any steps here. So it's not, so basically I'll brush this fringe back into where I've just blended it, and I'll pull it out like this, and you can see an edge there, and I simply just cut into that a little bit to blend it in. So when he does brush it back, it's balanced. And I do the same on the other side. And to bring it back into the bit I've blended, and I pull it right over. If you turn your head for me, please. I'm pulling it right over into where it's blended here. And you can see there, I have a little bit of hair there that I simply just cut into. So if he does brush it back, it goes into the blend. Have I taken enough of the fringe? Yeah. So I'm just gonna give him a little bit of thinning out. He has very thick hair. Lots of hair density here. It's nice fine hair, but there's a lot of it, just so that it sits nicely on the head. I'm just going to go around where I blended and simply just take a little bit of that weight out. Not taking too much weight at all. This will just stop some hard lines, if there are any, and also the hair will sit a bit better. And that's that. You've got quite a thick bit of hair there. So, I'm going to get the hair off my customer now, because I'm sure he's probably quite itchy. My customer is my son, by the way. So let's get all of that off, and I'm going to quickly, once I've done this, I'm going to quickly give him a little blow dry, put some product in the hair, and show you the finished hairstyle. So my customer's hair grows in its own direction, so what I do is I just go with the direction of his hair. So would you like some product? Yes. So how would you like me to style it? Do you want me to just go over to the side, or you wanted to go back?
Back onto the side.
Back into the side. So basically I've dried it the way I know he likes it, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of wax in there. You don't need much. So basically pop that product into your hands. Make sure there's an even coverage of that product on your hands, and then simply apply the product. So I'm going to put it on the fade that I've just done as well. Combing through the product now, give it a nice finish. How's that? Okay. So this is how he likes it. I'll show you the finished article. So here we go. Nice long top there. Nice fade. Back there. Here's the other side, going from very long right down into very short. Keeping that crown area long. If I was going to take this higher, this blend, I'd probably blend it here. I've done a low blend.